Welcome to my channel. This is Siobhán The CelticEmpath, aka Morgana Speaks, and I am based in Ireland, and I consider myself to be an empath, to be highly empathic, to be highly aware, to be highly intuitive, to be awoken basically. Lately people have been asking me kind of to coin myself or to define myself. Who am I, or what do I consider myself to be? Am I a Reiki master? Am I a clairvoyant? Am I a psychic? Am I a channeler? And a witch. Forgot about that. That was another one brought to me. It was interesting, people's ideas and perception of individuals who are gifted intuitively or psychically with different, because there's such a wide spectrum of gifts and talents that we have. So I guess the obvious answer is, okay, if I define myself by anything, I will say that I am an empath. And an empath is the word that coined a phrase for me that kind of brought all the elements together, that made a lot of sense. And I guess going by the description of what an empath is, according to popular psychology, then I guess I would say that I am an empath. For me, an empath involves experiencing, sensing, knowing, feeling, hearing, seeing. For me, it involves all of the senses, and I would say that I have developed my senses, my intuitive senses, my awareness. Am I a witch? Am I a channeler? Am I clairvoyant? I am probably all of those things and nothing at all. I don't go by any clear set definition. I use the term empath to help for people to somewhat identify or to see or hear maybe what I am, and to be able to relate to me when you're seeking out knowledge or information, or for somebody to guide you in this whole new territory, particularly if you are on a new awakened path. So in relation to me as an empath, I would say that my empathic abilities are quite developed. I would definitely say that I was the wounded empath, the wounded healer, and now I am the empath who is the healed empath. Up on my last video that I made, which was actually back in September. It feels like a good time ago. Probably is, because we're now into December, and that was in relation to problematic entities, is what I titled it, because there is all kinds of problematic energies and negativities that are out there, negative and positive energy. And as an empath, probably the majority of empaths are actually used to dealing with the negative. So anybody who is quite empathic or clairvoyant or psychic, or dealing with the esoteric, is going to be aware of, particularly in the last 5 to 7 years, of this kind of a new leveling or growth or experience of the negative side, who at this point in time shall remain nameless. But it's not something to shy away from. Since I made that last video, I did receive a certain negative attack, and at the end of that video, even upon listening to it, you might even hear it in my voice. My voice starts to go quite weak. And at that point, towards the last 5 minutes, I was beginning to experience an extremely sharp shooting pain right up in the very back of my throat, and it was affecting my speech and my ability to talk. And as an empath, a developing empath and a healing empath, there's this necessity now in 2019. There's been so much healing going on that a lot of empaths are feeling this calling to come forward now in their journeys and within their own lives, to come forward and start speaking their truth and to start sharing their gifts and their abilities. And the struggle and the fight, of course, will be around, for some of us, the throat chakra, which will be all about expression and talking. And for more, it's going to be the third eye and for the crown chakra, because these are the three that are experiencing the biggest and most growth. The lower three are actually up for more so healing than the higher three. The higher three are needed to develop the first lower three chakras. There's a lot of growth, healing and recovery and recuperation and detoxification, purification that needs to go on for the lower three, and releasing, because we don't need to hold on anymore to those energies that we have experienced and that we're grounded in through karma and other things in the three lower chakras. So of course there are going to be challenges to try and prevent you from up-leveling and developing your spiritual gifts and from expressing them. And I know that there, in the spiritual community, in the empathic community, that there is a lot of negativity and toxicity and all types of negative experiences that are happening. And there are reasons for behind all of that. But I'm not going to actually go back over old ground, but to talk more so about the trials really for empaths, what it means to be an empath and what's happening with empaths, and how to recognize the energies that you're experiencing around you as an empath. Because I have to say that I would if I'm to identify or describe myself as anything, okay, I can say that I am part of the generation of what's coined as the Indigos. So sure, I would definitely say I am an Indigo child, and a lot of the Indigos have had great difficulties and trials in their lives. We've come carrying a lot of karma, and we've come blazing the way to change, to help change energy. But now, a lot of my generation of Indigos, we were really kind of in the midst of the Indigo wave, that we are all now coming to the age of wisdom, that we've been through an awful lot of stuff. We've learned an awful lot, we've become quite wise, and now it's time for us to actually step into that and to move forward in that wisdom and start sharing it. And like, it's getting stiff. So the Indigo calling is strong, and in relation to the Indigos and the next wave after Indigo, we have the crystals, and the crystal children come after the Indigos. Indeed, a lot of Indigos have crystal children themselves. So I had to edit and I had to segue into this little part here, and you won't believe that I was actually talking there for about 10 minutes and I had not pressed the record button. So I had actually really gotten into a message in relation to Indigos and crystal children, and now I'm like, oh, how do I remember even what I say and the way I said it, and I'm so sorry. But yeah. Okay, so I am once again going to go over this, and please forgive me. So I'm segueing back into us Indigos, becoming wise. We're all getting older now. We've gone through the suffering. A lot of Indigos have experienced a lot of trauma, and I'm saying that we're coming now to the end of 2019. And what has been happening for me since September, since I made that last YouTube video, even though I did experience negative attack, I have overcome that only to be that little bit wiser and stronger in my own majesty. And what that means is that it was like a twofold effect. Okay, so to the empaths out there, or even if you don't consider yourself an empath, to the clairvoyants, to the psychics, to the mystics, to the everybody's, the people who are experiencing negativity and negative attack, it's a twofold effect. So you may experience it, but at the same time it spiritually pushes you further. You can become much stronger also in that instant of attack, so that you don't let it overcome you. Getting back to the point of the crystal children, many of us Indigos have crystal children biologically, which is fantastic. Who else, should they be born to, but only to people who can actually somewhat understand them and support them and give them some kind of a decent spiritual foundation. But also, maybe many of us don't have biological crystal children that have been born to us, and that's okay. What I'm saying is that be aware now, Indigos, that crystal children coming into the year 2020, my own energy, sense and experience, and what I am experiencing myself, and what is coming to me intuitively, is that there is like this clarion call now for the crystal children to come forward and to start coming forward with their talents. A lot of them now will be grown, they're maturing, they're coming out of childhood and early adulthood, so they're getting to a perfect era along with the Indigos heading into 2020 to start seeding themselves, expressing themselves, but really trying to beginning to find their way and to open up. What I'm noticing is that a number of crystal children have crossed my path recently and have come into my life. They weren't particularly aware and hadn't even heard of the term crystals, not into much spirituality or the ascension. They wouldn't have, be necessarily into angels or anything that would be even remotely sort of spiritual, or even crystals, simple things like that. Which, okay, you would think crystal children would have crystals. Not all crystal children necessarily collect crystals, so they can't just be defined simply by, oh, crystal children, well, obviously they love crystals. Not necessarily, but you will know them when you meet them, because they have this beautiful relaxed energy, really easygoing, and they're awakened. That's how you'll know them, because they will be younger, they're younger generations, and they're awakened. When you talk to them, you will know that they're wise, they are open, they're old souls, they have so much to give and to bring forward. And coming into 2020, they are being activated now. They are being pushed forward. They've been giving a new energy now to start seeding their gifts and their talents and what they have to share with us, what they've been born with, whatever each particular gift and skill that needs to be basically given to the planet now to help it upgrade again. So us Indigos have done so much of the dirty work. We came here blazing footpaths of fire. We came born ready. We were born rebels. We came with this blazing anger, and we came here pushing forward, passionately wanting to change things and change the perspective of general society and the way society works and functions and what it thinks. And we've done a lot of that dirty work, digging the ground and tilling the soil, and now the soil is ready. It's ready, the foundation is there. There's a beautiful new energy that's ready for the crystal children to come in and start sowing their beautiful seeds of whatever it is that they need to bring forward. So my message to the Indigos and to people who are awakened, there is a clarion call for the crystal children now to start coming forward. So if you do recognize in your life that, oh, a crystal child has actually shown up, they've crossed your path, or you've had a random conversation out, like really out of the blue, something not expected, with a young person. When I say young, I think that in my experience, they seem to be showing up in their kind of early 20s, mid 20s, and they're coming forward now. It's like they're starting to awaken. Something inside of them is awakening, and we need to be ready for that as Indigos now. It's the next step of the Indigo leadership, because that is what's happening with the Indigos, is that our next stage now isn't about rebelling anymore. It's not about having to fight to change things, because now there is a different new way of doing that. Now we're going to go more into leadership, and leadership for 2020 is going to be important to help lead and support the crystal children that are coming forward. So I am really excited about this, because I know that it's the big thing. It's really important for our future. The crystal children are coming forward anyway, with or without the Indigo support, but isn't it going to be a much nicer world when we can look at the younger generations below us and know that they are so wise and awakened and open, and we can symbiotically receive so much from them as well into our lives. My life is already enriched from the wonderful conversations that I've had with some crystal children, and they are helping me to open up as an Indigo. Because us Indigos, we definitely have our battle scars, don't we? So I'm going to leave it on that positive note, and look, please thank you so much. I love my 11 subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. It's challenging, but keep going with that awareness, okay? Just keep going and working on it. And definitely like and subscribe, I suppose, do all of that stuff, because we need more of this stuff out there. We need more of it, and I'm possibly going to find another platform as well, because the way YouTube is changing everything, who knows, with all the censorship. So we'll see if I can get this video up. But if you think that there are other people in your lives that can resonate with any one of the videos, anything, subjects that I've spoken about, then, you know, share it if you can, because there is going to be more to come, because the energies are great. So blessed be, and Slán from Ireland.